Hi everyone! So second video review for this week is for Dr. Todson'S Home for Incorrigible Women by Lashea. If you want to check out my review, I have just posted that. So if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description below, and if you're on Facebook or on my blog, then there is a link within the post. And this is the video review. So Dr. Todson'S Home for Incorrigible Women, which I'm getting better at the title, I'm really impressed, was brilliantly entertaining. Really entertaining. It's about Caroline. She finds herself dropped at an institution by her husband, and she's trying to survive. So while she's trying to do that, she discovers that all is not as it seems at this institution, and she starts making a connection with the other women there, including the doctor. So Erin Todson, she's the proprietor of the institution, and she deeply intrigues Caroline because of that. And when she realises there's a lot more to Erin than just her jailer, they kind of form this connection based on their past experiences, and they understand one another. So they form a plan, and they attempt to get justice for all the things that have happened in the past. So that's all I can really say about it without spoiling it too much for you, because it's one of those stories that you have to read to know the plot. But I had so much fun reading this, and so much more than I expected to. When Riley first contacted me and sent me the book, and I thought, added it to the schedule, and I saw what it was about, I thought, oh god, this could be quite dark. This could be quite dark and quite horrible, because back in the Victorian days when it's set, and these institutions, you just know what horrible places they were. You don't need to be told. And obviously, Caroline and Erin are joined by a whole load of women who are very different from how women were expected to be back in the Victorian days. But I loved how the book focused on both of their lives at different points. So it focused on Caroline's at the point she was put into the institution, and Erin's past as to A, how she became a doctor, B, what she'd been through that made her how she is, and why she does what she does. So I loved that it was both sort of sides of the story, and how Riley has very clearly defined those two types of the stories between chapters, so you always knew where you were. You weren't getting lost at all. And I love how those past experiences were really fueling the present, especially where Dr. Todson's concerned, and shaped her character. But all her other incorrigible women all had the same sort of thing. They had something in the past that shaped how they were now, and that's where we were getting Caroline's side of this. So it was just such an adventure, and both sort of living through that past where we were seeing about Erin, but also with Caroline. And there was a lot to discover before you could truly understand them both. And then their friends and their acquaintances as well, because you got a lot of background on that as well. The people that Caroline was meeting, and the people that Dr. Todson's knew and relied on to help her run her institution, her team. And as it all started to come together as the reader, you realised what Caroline was realising about the institution, and you just won't be able to stop how you feel. It's really exciting to discover what Caroline discovers about this place. And so I adored the teamwork of all these women that were here, and the team Dr. Todson had running her institution. They're very clever people. And like I say, when I started reading, I wasn't sure how it was going to go, because we're talking about Victorian institution here for women, and I was like, oh my god, usually these type of stories are really dark, they've got a really dark theme, and you usually need something to lighten the mood, and they're twisted, they're really twisted, and although this was really twisted, it was really twisted in such a good way, and it didn't make my skin crawl based on historical truths. And so I think what Riley's done here very cleverly is explore the other side of it. So I really hope that places like this back in the day existed, rather than what we know to be true of these types of places, because they truly sound harrowing, and yet Dr. Todson's sounds great. So without knowing it, you kind of actually hope, like I say, that this was happening somewhere. And Erin, she really is a remarkable woman. She should be admired, and so should her team. She did something really fantastic, really, in a time when it would have been very difficult for her to get away with such a thing, but she's so clever. So like I say, it's just brilliantly entertaining. And although it is a dark subject, and you might think that when you first read the title and you read the blurb and stuff, it's actually really light-hearted, and it's really fun to read. The things this lot get up to will have you laughing. I was laughing so much. There were so many funny moments. There were a few of those where you were like, oh, like, please don't be so bad. But yeah, it was really great, and I laughed more than I cried or got upset about things. So it gave that relief needed from the terrible experience they have been through. And I really hope there's going to be more from Dr. Todson in the future and her extremely incorrigible women, because I'm excited to see what those stories will be. This was really great, and I can't recommend it enough. I really can't. So I'll pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of Dr. Todson's Home for Incorrigible Women by Riley Lashea, which I hope you will. If you've read Dr. Todson's Home for Incorrigible Women, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. It's definitely a book that will open up discussions, so please comment below. Please let me know what you thought of the story, and if you haven't read it yet but you're planning to read it, it's on your to be read list, or you're now really intrigued and thinking, I gotta check that story out, please let us know. Please comment below, because it's always great to hear what you're reading, and if you do read it, I hope you enjoy it. Bye.